Our first guest tonight is Treasury Secretary Stephen Mnuchin, and today he talked with the Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, trying to move forward some kind of deal to get 160 million Americans relief from the COVID virus pandemic. It didn't go well. Great to have you with us, Mr. Secretary. How would you characterize what seems to be an impasse?
Well, first of all, it's great to be with you. The president and my first priority would be there's about $300 billion that was approved in the last CARES package that we haven't spent. We need authority to spend that money. So our choice would be to immediately use that money for small business, for more PPP money, second payments, use it for airline workers, use it for kids, and to support jobs. So we could get that money into the economy quickly. The president would also like to send direct payments to hardworking Americans quickly. There's a lot of areas in here that we would have enormous bipartisan support if they could be passed on a standalone basis. The Speaker and Senator Schumer have insisted on an all-or-nothing approach. So we've been trying to negotiate in good faith a comprehensive package that would include a lot of things, would include money for testing, vaccines, kids, jobs, health care. Certain areas we've made a lot of progress on, certain areas we still have more work to do.
The calculus on the Democratic proposal rises to somewhere, and I think it's conservative, $2.6 trillion, which was their response in your negotiations to bring them down from what was 3.3, at least in their judgment. What is the issue here? Why is there not an ability to move to immediate? They can refer to it as piecemeal. It's not comprehensive. Comprehensive is not attainable. That's been made clear here. Why would they not want to have the president's direct payments to those millions of Americans who need it right now? Much of the funds are right now unspent, could be used. Small business, as you point out. Job creators, where most of the jobs are created, small business. Critical to do that. What is the reason?
Lou, I don't think there's a good answer for that. I suspect that they don't want to give the president a win 3 weeks before the election, but they are holding up relief to hardworking Americans. Mitch McConnell wants to bring the PPP back to the floor. Again, this is areas we have money. We don't need to appropriate more money. There's $130 billion sitting in the PPP. We just need congressional approval to send out second checks. I have over $200 billion of money that was allocated for the Federal Reserve facilities with the Treasury. I'm not going to need that. I'm reallocating that. And we have national security money and cargo money that we want to allocate to the airlines. And again, these are areas of the economy, no fault of their own. They've been shut down by the China COVID virus.
So what you're saying, as I hear you, is that Speaker Pelosi simply wants to use the American people who desperately need this money as political pawns to secure an advantage over the president in the election. That's outrageous.
Well, we're really proud of the fact that the last two bills we passed on a huge bipartisan basis, 96-0 and 100-0 in the Senate. You know, the good news is when the economy was really bad, everybody came together, put politics aside. The president's leadership, we executed those quickly. And as a result of that, the economy has come back significantly. Unemployment is way down. Areas of the economy that are open are doing great. But there are still areas of the economy, travel-related, restaurants, right, hotels, and these areas need more work. And the president has said to me, you know, keep at this until you get this done. We need to get everybody back their jobs who lost their jobs.
Well, let's talk about the economy here. Well, before we do, let me just ask you, have you got other talks scheduled of any kind? Any sort of marker that you have to hit to have a discussion or that you have put down on the table?
Well, we both have some homework. We agreed today. We spent an hour on the phone today. We agreed to regroup tomorrow. We'll be discussing this again tomorrow. I think we've made some very significant compromises. There's some areas where we've made a lot of progress. They want some more details, and we're going to keep trying. Our objective is, if there's a fair deal for the American worker and American business, the president wants us to get this done.
And a fair deal for the American taxpayer I'm sure, looms large. The bailout for these blue state cities and blue states themselves that are in significant financial trouble through mismanagement. Pelosi obviously wants a bailout for the big blue. California, New York, Illinois, the list goes on. Do the taxpayers have anything to worry about that somebody will conflate that money with this package?
Well, we've been very clear. We've been very clear that any of the money that we allocate to the states can't go to use to pay pension funds and other problems. In certain cases in cities, we're working with the states to institute what are state financial control boards. But the objective here is, if we are going to allocate money to the states, to make sure that it goes to policemen, firemen, first responders, medical people. We want to make sure these people don't lose their jobs. They've been on the front line. If they lose the jobs, they go on unemployment. We end up having to pay for them. So our objective is, if we send any money, to make it very targeted.
Are you hopeful that anything will be done before the election?
I'm always hopeful, Lou, and we're going to keep trying. I think it's obviously hard to get it done. If the Speaker wants to compromise, we can get this done quickly. But we're going to keep working. The President is determined. We're going to get this done. And if we don't get it now, when the President wins the election, we'll get it passed quickly afterwards.
Let's turn now then to the economy, Mr. Secretary. We've seen some bright spots, as you say. We have seen surprising strength for many, surprising strength in the economy. Is it sustainable, and what do you see over the next few months?
I think it is sustainable, and the good news is the president's economic policies have worked. The bipartisan package worked. These have had tremendous impact. We're going to have a very, very big GDP number coming up. We've had very big jobs numbers. But again, what we want is targeted help for areas of the business, again, that are small businesses. I think 50% of our private payroll is in small businesses. There's a lot of small businesses, no fault of their own. We got to help. All
right. I don't want to leave without asking you about TikTok. Where is TikTok? And what is your view about what will transpire there?
Well, the president is determined there's a national security issue. We want to make sure that Americans' information that are on their phones is safe, their personal information. So we negotiated what we think was a very good deal to turn this into an American company. They need to comply with that under the CFIUS order. They also need to comply with the shutdown order, which is being fought in court at the moment. The president's determined we're going to have one of two outcomes. This will either be a safe American company or it'll be shut down.
Treasury Secretary Stephen Mnuchin, good to have you with us. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.